The Fantasy Football Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign up today and bet 100 and get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. All right, and welcome into the Fantasy Football Podcast presented by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me tonight is a special guest, Joe Pepe. How are we doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you been? I know we talked about it already, but I still love that Seinfeld background every time it pops up.
Thank you. As I was telling you, there are some younger crowds that think this is my home, and it is not. I do not have a refrigerator that old. I used to sell appliances. I would not do that to myself in the year 2022. Other than that, I mean, I think everything's pretty kosher to 2022. I got some decent stools, couple of couches. No big deal.
Yeah,
Kramer's
got a nice place there, man. Yeah, you got a nice place. I like it.
And it's in New York. It's got to be rent controlled, right? So, I mean, it can't be too bad.
Yeah, exactly. But, you got a maid, man. You got a maid.
Appreciate you coming on tonight. Love having you come on to talk some football. Before we get started, just want to give a thank you for coming on and give you an opportunity to share some stuff that you're working on. Let everybody know where they can find you and what content you can help everybody with.
Yeah, so it's pretty easy to find me on any of the platforms. I am JPEP20 on literally every platform. I basically coined the damn name so nobody can have it. All I'm working on right now, I have my Fantasy Pros article that I put out every week where I do stack attacks for DFS. I do my Wednesday night show with Wager Wire, where me and my buddy Nate, we break down different DFS plays, different fantasy plays, different bets. We go through that. I have a boxing fight coming up again in April, so I'm getting ready for that one. That's with Haymakers for Hope, where I'm actually boxing for cancer. So we're trying to raise a bunch of money for cancer, and hopefully I get a knockout and I don't I don't get myself knocked out. We'll train for that though. And then finally, I have one more thing that I wish I could tell you right now because I just signed the contract to it. But it's got to wait. But I'm just going to tell everybody, just kind of keep an eye on the horizon.
All right, some good stuff on the horizon for Joe. I love it. Tell me a little bit more about the fight. I mean, you got a decent opponent. Are we trying to hurt each other for charity? Like, what's going on there?
Oh no! I am trying to knock somebody the hell out.
Okay.
There's no joke on that. We're all trying to raise money. I don't know the opponent yet. We're trying to find people with I guess like influencer nation in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Because long story short, I won that TV show a while ago, so people still think I'm important for whatever reason. But I'm going to go up against somebody else, probably from TV or something like that, and we're all going to try to, I think there's 4 fights of the night, and we're all going to try to raise as much money as we can. Every ticket raises money, every donation, obviously, and then we're just going to fight it out to the death. And being from Philly, I cannot let my uncle Rocky down, and I need to knock them out like he knocked Drago out. That's all.
I love it.
And then I need Russia to fall behind me like he did too. I got to figure out how to do that after.
I mean, tensions are high with Mother Russia right now. I mean, they might be able to organize something.
This would be like the perfect. Could you imagine I knock somebody out and then I have that really terrible speech like Rocky does, but then like somehow Russia loves us again? Like I could fix the world if I just get a knockout. That's all.
Dude, we could use some saving right now. I love it.
I'm trying.
Every punch counts. I love it. Tonight we're going to be going over some starter sit questions. We're going to be doing some fantasy trade deadline talk. For a lot of us, our trade deadlines are this week. I know for most of my leagues that's the case. And then to close it off, we're going to finish with just some over/under picks on fantasy projections this week. All right. Getting into the starter sit conversations, we got some close calls to start off with here. Of course, if you are in the chat, be sure to throw any questions to us, and we'll get right to you. All right. First up, we've got this one is a same gamer. So doubleheader going Geno Smith at Tampa Bay, Tom Brady versus Seattle. Again, happening in Germany. So in Germany, I believe Saturday, 9:30 in the morning. Which quarterback are you going with in this same matchup here?
Oh man, like I'm not gonna lie. I looked at this sheet and I was like, okay, usually the first one's kind of like a softball. It's always a simple question. This was so hard. I went back and forth like 4 times on this question, but I think I'm going to stick with the vet over the hot reboot of Geno Smith. I think I'm going to
Mhm.
go with Tom Brady. And the only
Oh,
reason is
damn.
because, yeah, and the only reason is because of the defense. The Seattle
Okay.
Seahawks defense struggles with tight ends and receivers out of the backfield. Now, I'm going to read you a stat here. The Seahawks have allowed the most receiving yards to running backs, the
Mhm.
second most receiving yards. I apologize. The second most receiving yards to running backs, and the most yards to tight ends. So you can eat them up through those two positions. And what does Tom Brady like to do in his old age? Throw it to the tight end and the running back. And then if for some reason he has to go to the outside, he still has Mike Evans and he still has Chris Godwin, who's just getting targeted like no other. Ever since Brady wore that Godwin t-shirt, he has
Mhm.
been smothering him with targets. And
I
I
love it.
just I've learned not to bet against Tom Brady. I've done it enough in my life. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. Oh,
Right.
it's over. I could just see him going to Germany. He's single now. Like, he's probably out here like I'm about to reboot, rejuvenate my life. Like I'm going for it. Like I'm gonna call 3 touchdowns this week from Tom Brady. Three,
Dang.
and then everyone's gonna yell at me in my mentions when he only gets two. I
Damn.
can't wait.
Tom Brady hitting up the red light district pregame. I like it. I like the call. I'm still going Geno here. I've got him a little bit ahead of Tom this week. I've got Geno at quarterback 6, and I've got Tom at quarterback 12. It's all really just down to the total production this season. When I look at Geno Smith, every game minus about 2 games, he has thrown more than one passing touchdown. There's only 2 games this season where he hasn't hit it. Tom, there's only 1 game this season where he's thrown a multi-touchdown game. And you had mentioned the running backs and the tight end. I could see, Cade Otton coming down with the touchdown. I like Cade Otton a lot this week, but I also feel like this could be a game where you see, maybe a little bit of a resurgence in Leonard Fournette, maybe more of an coming out for Rachaad White. I do like that all the receivers are healthy, though. I do like that all the receivers are healthy. I think this is a situation that a lot of folks could be dealing with, just given, Tom and Geno kind of being, well, Geno was going for free in our drafts, really. He was going like the last few rounds, if not off the waiver wire. And Tom, a little bit lower in the rankings this year. He was, definitely a friendlier draft target. I think it's likely that people could have both of them in a super flex or in a single QB league. I'm leaning Geno, just the body of work this season. He's also been one of the more accurate passers this season. What I really like about Tom, the volume. 7 straight games of 40 passing attempts.
He loves to throw the ball now, and he loves to dink and dunk to the running backs, and that's what the
Right.
Seahawks struggle against right now. So it's a lot tougher, and I never really thought in 2022 I'd be here battling Tom Brady and Geno Smith. Like, I forgot that Geno Smith was really even in the league like a year and a half ago. So, like, this resurgence is incredible.
That happened to Marcus Mariota,
kudos.
And just look out for these guys,
Oh, yeah. I give him kudos, except those 2 weeks you talked about that Geno Smith did nothing, I played him in DFS. So, I'm not playing him this week, so he might still also have a good game.
It's that recency bias. I hate it. It always kills us. It's our Achilles heel in fantasy. Fantasy Pros has Geno at quarterback 6 and Brady at quarterback 8. So they have it very close as well. I usually consider them like the public opinion for like fantasy rankings. So that's where they have it. I have Geno at 6, Brady at 12. I think that, on the road in Germany, we could still see maybe not the friendliest game flow. And so for that, I'm going to lean towards the safer floor. I feel like in Geno, he's had, just many more multi-touchdown games over Tom this season and has a little extra edge on the safe rushing floor. That's where I leave it.
I like it. Like I said, all these were really hard, and I was not a fan of the sheet when I looked at that. I was like, damn, these are all like impossible. Like,
good luck with this next one, because I know you're going to have a little bit of bias, and I definitely loaded the sheet with some Eagles here. At the running back position, you're welcome. The running back position, we've got Miles Sanders hosting the Commandos and Jamal Williams traveling to the Bears, going to Chicago. Both have pretty friendly matchups here. Who do you like?
So I know everyone thinks I'm going to come right on here and be like, oh, Miles Sanders, fly, Eagles, fly, like I bleed green. And most of that is true, except Jamal Williams, he's playing the Bears. And the Bears are so bad against the run. 5th most rushing yards allowed in the league. 3rd highest fantasy points per game to running backs in the league. When the matchup is this juicy and the Lions stink and the Bears stink, and I could see points being thrown up there, I've got to lean with Jamal. And even if Swift's healthy, even if Swift is there, Jamal still gets those carries in the red zone. He still gets them inside the 10. And I just see without TJ Hockenson being there and Josh Reynolds being out, they're going to have to lean even more into those running backs. And I see more for Jamal Williams. And this is a little bit of recency bias, but Miles Sanders hasn't had over 9 receiving yards in like 9 straight games, I think it
I
is,
don't think he's
or
had
it's
a
8
catch in 2
straight games.
weeks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a one-dimensional back for us.
Mhm.
And I love him, and I love my Eagles to death, but I just want the guy who's got the ability to give me both, and I just don't know if Miles could do that for me.
Right. Both of these guys are really good options this week. Miles Sanders is out of 8 games, 7-1 to go over 50, at least 50 rushing yards. He's had plenty of games with more than that, but that offers a very safe floor. I like the offense more. You know, I trust your Eagles offense a lot more than I trust the Detroit Lions offense. I trust Jalen Hurts more than I trust Jared Goff. And because it's that close, and maybe, I don't know, maybe I just feel like the Swift complaining actually might work out for him. I feel like they're that kind of team. I feel like, you know, if you're working hard and you go to that coach and he's just gonna be like, you know what, you're right. Damn it, I'm gonna give you some more touches this week. Let's go out there and beat the Bears, right? The Bears are the team he also was injured against last season. There might be a little bit of a revenge game spot there. You might want to come in and throw in on Chicago. I'm leaning Miles Sanders by a hair. I have them at 14 and 15 in PPR this week. So it's razor close. I mean, you still have to consider that Jalen Hurts could steal a touchdown. We've seen Kenny Gainwell do the same. And man, all the volume could just lean towards AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert. Although we'll get to Dallas Goedert at the end of the show. He's our last player to discuss, but
and
he might
you
have
got to know
you
got to know with Miles Sanders is somebody who watches every single game. If he doesn't have your fantasy points by the end of the second quarter, he ain't getting it. We don't play the second half. We're up by like 20 points at that point. We don't care anymore. So if you don't have it at halftime, sorry, you made the wrong decision. You know,
you can turn off the television now.
Yeah, basically.
Or whatever, switch to a different game. All right, so you're going Williams, I'm going Sanders here. Like I said, it's razor close. Fantasy Pros has them at, Fantasy Pros had them at 14-15. I have them at 15-18, excuse me. So I have Williams at 18 and Sanders at 15. So still very close. Just imagining that Swift is going to have more of an impact. But Williams has just as many games with no touchdowns as he does with 2 touchdowns. You know, that's
boom or bust.
Yeah, exactly. Like the complete epitome of it. And I guess that's just what I like is just the safe floor in Miles Sanders. So that's where I'm going. I like that we have different picks here because typically I get somebody on and we're just nailing the same person. So I love that we're going back and forth on these. Let's hit a quick word from the sponsors and we'll be back with more starter sit questions after this. Ready to win money and boost your odds? WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. We're bringing the excitement of Wynn Las Vegas to online sports betting and casino play. Exclusive rewards are right at your fingertips with Wynn Rewards on WynnBET. Be on the lookout for the WynnBET Win Hour each Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. During the WynnBET Win Hour, marquee games of the week will have better odds on WynnBET, giving you a larger opportunity for a payout. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now at WynnBET. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds on every major sport, WynnBET has what you need to win. Ready to play? Sign up today and receive a special offer. Bet 100, win 100. There's so much to choose from, and all you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. So they know that we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change, terms and conditions at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 and older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-522-4700. And it's not too early to get ahead on your holiday shopping. The merch store is now open. SGPN gear is the perfect stocking stuffer for the D-Gen in your life. I really like the pullover that they have, just SGPN on the shoulder. I won that from an over-under contest in last year's NBA Finals. Super comfortable. Plus, from now until Thanksgiving, you get 10% off when you use promo code DallasSucks. That's store.gamblingpodcast.com, promo code DallasSucks. I know Joe would like that one.
Yeah, see, now you know I'm just gonna go to the store and buy everything because I just want to type that in. So
there you go, and you get 10% off. We got the good stuff. We got some really good. We got some good gear. Another one that I've got on my shopping list is tell me about your third leg, and then you can get it in shorts, you can get it in shirts, whatever. I'm gonna get the beach shorts. Ask me about my third leg.
I gotta look this up. I gotta get those shorts. I like those shorts. I'm gonna have to add it in. Dallas Sucks. You know, I'm good.
And then somewhere it says like ... like about my parlay, but you know,
Yeah, who cares about that part? No.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Next up, we're moving over to the wide receiver position. We're looking at another same game pick here. So we got Juju Smith-Schuster hosting Jacksonville, or Christian Kirk, same game against Kansas City. Where are you going?
So this is actually funny because for my Fantasy Pro stack article, I'm attacking this game because the highest over under on the slate,
Yep.
and I have them both in the stack with the bring back option for it.
Mhm.
So this was really hard for me to figure out where I wanted to go, and I didn't really have an answer until the end of today when Mecole Hardman was out. I
Yeah, there you go.
love to lean more for Juju in this factor because one,
Mhm.
I get Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes over Trevor Lawrence. I don't really have to explain that one. We can move right past that. The thing with Juju is he's only had one game under 5 targets this year. And if we extrapolate that even further, he's only had 2 games under 8 targets this year. I want to be a part of that Chiefs offense. I want to have somebody that I know is going to get targets from Patrick. He's getting the
Mhm.
targets, and now you're not going to get the Mecole Hardman plays, the little jet sweep, shovel pass stuff. That falls out of their playbook. Maybe they do it with Kadarius Toney, or
Mhm.
maybe even Sky Moore, but that I'm not going to bank on that. I'm going to
Right.
bank on the fact that it goes Kelsey and then Juju in this offense. Patrick Mahomes likes to find him if Kelsey's not open, and I'm going to lean on that all day because Patrick Mahomes over Trevor Lawrence. That's my answer every time.
Yeah. So we're totally in agreement on this one. The last 3 weeks, Juju has 22 catches, 225 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's through his 3 last games. He's really caught fire. Like, the targets were there all season long, but recently we've just seen that chemistry really build up between him and Mahomes. And like you had said, Hardman being out adds even more, gas to the flame. Right now, Christian Kirk still has a very good matchup. So if you are doing DFS, I do like starting both of these guys against each other. Kansas City allowing the 5th most receiving touchdowns to the wide receiver position, and Jacksonville 3rd most. So very, very good matchup here. Don't love Trevor Lawrence this week. I agree with you, but the game flow should be there for both sides. So in a DFS format, I would actually like pairing these guys up if you want to do, the Mahomes stack with Juju and then maybe throw Kirk in there as well. I'd like to see what that turns out to.
Yeah,
Right,
it's almost like you read my article already because that was literally my paragraph and a half, so you nailed it. I agree. In DFS, that's a perfect bring back to me. I want to attack the game with the highest over under, especially with Josh Allen and the Vikings game being up in the air.
Love it. All right, moving to the tight end position, we've got rookie Greg Dulcich at the Tennessee Titans versus Gerald Everett at San Francisco. This one's tough for me in the sense that, like, Dulcich has been a nice little streaming option recently, but he's only going to be playing in his 4th game in the NFL. And then Everett has been solid for most of the season, but I don't love the matchup here. Which side do you like?
So it's funny because I run my girlfriend's team in her league. I help her run it. And
Smart.
these are the 2 tight ends we have. And she's sitting at 7-2 and she refuses to lose again. I'm in trouble if we do. So I'm really curious what you think after I get through it. But I'm really going through this matchup. And it's like Greg has the better matchup, but Gerald has less options around them. So he could get hyper targeted. And then so I start going through like the DraftKings sports books. And like the Chargers, they have the higher over under. So I'm like, okay, that's going to be the game. But then I look at the touchdown, the anytime touchdown. Gerald at plus 245, Greg D's at plus 235. Not much help there. Then I look at the yards. Gerald, 41.5 over under. Greg, 43.5 over under. No help there. Receptions, both 4.5. This matchup is almost a dumpster fire of me trying to decide of who I want. So I'm going to lean on Greg D. And the only reason being is because the Titans are a top 10 worst defense against tight ends in targets, receptions, and yards. Yep. I'm not extremely confident about this. And to be honest, in the tight end position, after Kelsey, after Mark Andrews, you're just kind of throwing it up in the air and hoping somebody falls over.
Let's go easy on the Mark Andrews. I've been struggling. Yeah. Okay, I'm on the Mark Andrews struggle bus. I mean, it's open season for everybody. I mean, Kelsey is definitely the exception to the rule. But like, if we go back to, what was it, the 4 touchdown week, right? He had and there was no catches outside of the red zone. Like, that was crazy. Like no matter what, you still, like, you can stop me up until the red zone, but this is where I work, people. Like,
it's a terrible position. I hate trying to pick it. This one has to be the closest I have ever seen, and it's what I'm dealing with personally. And right now I have Greg D personally in my girlfriend's lineup. And if it loses, I'm blaming everybody but me.
All right, fair enough. It's not really a bad plan. I can't critique that. I have Everett at 6 and I have Dulcich at 8. So again, a very close one here. I am going to target the consistency of Everett in this one. You had mentioned those props. So 5 out of 8 games so far, he's gone over at least 5 catches or over 50 receiving yards. Wouldn't hate putting that in a parlay. You know, if you want to, if you really want to dive into this one, the reason why I like this game and why I think he can actually have a better day despite the bad matchup is actually the running back on the other team, Christian McCaffrey. Since he's like look what the offensive explosion that he's provided to this team, I feel like the game flow is actually going to be a little bit of a faster pace than the Tennessee and Denver game. One, because Russ and that offense are just going to stall at certain points. And two, Derrick Henry is the identity of that team. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is. I don't think anyone else on the team has scored a touchdown since week 8 or week 7.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're just going to bury the ball in the ground, eat up a lot of clock. And I feel like knowing what I know about the Broncos offense, I just don't trust them as much. And they're also going on the road. It's just,
yeah, you got me wanting to switch the pick now.
You're welcome.
Like she's looking at me,
welcome.
wondering. Yeah, she's over in the other room staring me down. So I think I'm gonna have to change the pick. I'm gonna go with Everett, but if we get it wrong, it's Justin's fault.
You can blame me. You can blame me. We got some questions in the chat. We got Super C and B challengers. Yo, Fields or Tua this week. I also have Waddle. I really want to say Fields.
I'm going to it. I wrote this in the article as well. As much as Fields has been awesome, he's been great. His rushing prop is up to 58 yards now. David Montgomery's rushing prop's going up a little higher. Darnell Mooney's receiving is going down. DraftKings knows something. They know better than us. Vegas knows better than us. And Tua and Waddle have that ability to just blow up a game and win it for you by halftime. So I'm going to go with Tua. It's safer to me. I don't have to worry about the running backs taking over the game, even though Cleveland Browns are a run-funnel defense. But that's a tough one. It must be nice to have both those quarterbacks because I have Josh Allen, and I just got to hope he plays.
I set Josh Allen this week for Marcus Mariota. Thank you. That could have been a lot worse because believe me, that halftime rule was not so good for me. Like that halftime on Thursday Night Football is like, God. Pour me another drink.
Yeah.
We had a SGPN happy hour last night, and the team shout out the SGPN crew. We absolutely raked the house. So we had team poker, right? So it's all the crew versus the owners, our bosses, and we just cleaned them out. Like it was beautiful. I think they won like 3 hands out of like I don't know 16, 17, something like that.
I would be walking around like Conor McGregor today.
Dude, like we all were. It was great. It was fantastic. So I have Tua at 3 and I have Fields at 4. If you look at Fields matchup, and I had Fields, I actually traded for Fields prior to the Cowboys game. I'm a Bears fan, so I've been in on him before the sunlight hit, right? I traded, Matthew Stafford, Zay Jones, and Hayden Hurst for him. It's a steal for Justin Fields in a dynasty format. Oh, yeah. No picks involved, nothing. That was fantastic. And now Stafford may not even play. Christ. But anyways, I digress. I've been on Fields for a while now. Obviously, I'm a Bears fan if you guys follow the show. That matchup up against Detroit, they bleed yards on the ground. If it's not there, he's running. Plus, they have QB design plays. Fields will have more rushing yards than Tua this week, but Tua's throwing and his passing efficiency is going to be better just because it is a good matchup in the air, surprisingly, up against the Browns this season. And you have that Waddle stack. That's really the only thing that it does for me. Like, I trust Waddle so much, I'm going to trust his quarterback just the same. Yeah. And I have them right at that same threshold. So I'll agree with you, but I still feel like Fields is going to have a big day.
It's definitely tough. And the thing that I wrote into the article, and I won't go into the whole thing, but the Browns play zone coverage a lot. And these are 2 wide receivers that zone coverage is just like, it's going to kill them. Like they're going to kill zone coverage. So I'm just all about that.
Any team that can run 40-yard curl routes, to its finest, they're going to kill it. Yeah. Anyone that tries that. So yeah, absolutely. All right, we got the chat stacking up here. Let's catch up. We've got Keg Carr, my guys, starters, Mahomes, Saquon, Etienne. I guess that's Jeff Wilson.
Justin Jefferson.
Oh, Justin Jefferson. Okay, Justin Jefferson. JJ. Pittman, Walker. Okay, Lockett. Geez, I got enough talent here. Do I trade Mahomes, Etienne for Herbert? No. Do not do that. Do not do that.
No. Don't do that. Yeah, no.
Wait. For CMC, no, Waddle, CMC, Waddle, and Cooper in here. I thought it was just for Herbert. I still don't like it. I love the volume that ETN and then Ken and Walker are getting right now.
Yeah, I'm going to assume this is like a redraft thing, and I'm going to stick with the two running backs who are the only running backs in both of their places, and then I get Patrick Mahomes. And I love Justin Herbert. He's a talented guy, but he's missing both of his receivers. He's got a rib injury. He can't throw it down the field, so I'm going to stick with the Mahomes side.
I just paid like $500 million worth of fantasy assets for Mahomes in Dynasty as well. It was like every pick that I had left. Oh yeah, it was just ridiculous. It was like every pick I had left. My other quarterback was Josh Allen, who I just referenced that I had to sit this week.
Yeah. Well, now you got a dynamic. You got a dynamic.
Oh yeah, I got that when they're healthy. Like, it's like, Josh, please don't do it to me, man. Don't do it to me. I thought he was invincible. All right, very tempted to do that trade. Watson comes back, maybe upgrading. Yeah, for sure, it would upgrade Amari, but I still don't trust it. I mean, you're getting the quarterback one out of Patrick Mahomes. It's either him or Allen going forward. So I think that's a really good situation.
There's like a lot of maybes in that sentence right there. Like, maybe he gets this guy and they're good, and maybe these two come back healthy. I don't want to play the maybe game. Just give me what I know works.
Exactly. All right, we got Neezy saying 6-3 PPR. Would you trade Cooper for Jonathan Taylor? My running backs are Eckler, ETN, Mostert, Hunt. Wide receivers are Hill, Adams, and Cooper. I don't think you need to do that. I mean, you're
winning already. You got depth at both sides, it looks like. So
and you're betting on Jonathan Taylor to like make a complete turnaround on a bad team.
And not so much. Yeah, I was going to say not so much on Taylor, on that offensive line, on that rookie quarterback, on a coach who's never coached, on an offensive coordinator who's never offensive coordinated. Like,
I forgot about Jeff. I've already forgot about Jeff. It's Friday.
There's a lot going on. They're trying to tank. I want nothing to do with that. Like, it's a nice little matchup he has here against the Raiders, but I'm good. Move me on from that.
Exactly. We got challengers back in here saying pick 2, Mike Evans, Olave, Devonta Smith, Judy, and Pittman. Taking Pittman out right away. Judy's on a nice run, but I think I still have to lean towards the heavy volume of Mike Evans and Chris Olave.
We agree. I love Devonta Smith, but he's just boom bust for me this year. Judy, I don't trust that offense. Pittman, we just went over that. So yeah, Mike Evans, Chris Olave, give me that every time.
I do like Devonta Smith as kind of like a trade target right now at the deadline, someone you wouldn't have to overpay for.
Yeah.
Also, different league, Danny Dimes or Jimmy G. It's Jimmy Garoppolo, baby. Not even hesitating.
Yeah.
Not even hesitating. I love me some Danny Dimes runs, but Jimmy G's got the deck stacked in his favor right now with all of his weapons. Not even close.
I gotta be out of these three, I go Jimmy G, then I'm going Trevor Lawrence, then I'm going Danny Dimes. I know he's playing Houston, but they're gonna run the ball with Barkley against that terrible run defense. I don't really see much for Danny Dimes this week.
I didn't even see T-Law in there, but yeah, still Jimmy G all day. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, sir. Otten or Higbee? Going Otten. Going chasing that volume with Tom Brady. We mentioned it earlier. 7 straight games now, over 40 passing attempts, and 3 of those are north of 50. Like, why won't he throw more touchdowns?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
It's killing me in a lot of dynasty leagues right now. And like for Cade Otton, we just talked about the Seahawks. They suck against the tight end. I think you got a nice little safe floor there. I think you're good. I don't trust Higbee. I don't trust John Wolford if he has to play. If it's not Matthew Stafford, I want nothing to do with that.
I actually own one asset. I own one share of Wolford.
Do you really?
I do. He's in a league where I had like no quarterbacks whatsoever. Like, I was going into this season with I guess I did have 2 starters. I had Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray, and it's an auction dynasty league. So that's all I had. And I had Ben Roethlisberger from last season who retired.
Oh man. I mean, well, now you got 3 quarterbacks. Now you're good.
Well, I also did get Geno Smith at one point. So that wasn't bad. All right, Singletary or Hines? Singletary. We just not even enough information yet to make that decision, and I really just don't like it if we aren't getting Josh Allen this week. And I guess
I can avoid that game. I would, but Singletary.
For the Bills, I want to stay away from it. I'd still like a lot of the Viking players. Can we get an update on? I'm trying to get an update on old Josh.
He was like out on the field. He saw the cameras and he ran back in. That's pretty much the last thing I saw. But like from every doctor that I know, everybody that because long story short, kinesiology major, runs fitness centers and talk to friends. They're like, yeah, that's not a 1 week. Like, I don't know anybody who can recover in 1 week on that. So he's most likely not playing.
Yep. Shout out to Sebastian Firon. He's our injury specialist. And last night in our mixer in the happy hour, someone asked him like, "Hey man, oh, you do injuries? What's up with Josh Allen?" It's the only question he took the entire time. And then he's like, "Don't play him. Don't start him." I'm like,
Thank
you, sir.
Change.
Thank you, doctor. We had a doctor in the house and he helped. It was awesome.
It's perfect.
All right. We got a couple of flex questions and then we're going to get into some trade deadline targets. So first up here, we've got a couple of running backs and a wide receiver. We did just talk about Michael Pittman. So it's David Montgomery versus Detroit, Michael Pittman at Las Vegas, or Tony Pollard at Green Bay. Which way are you going?
For me, I'm going David Montgomery out of those three. If I'm picking one, I'm going David Montgomery. And I have a rule of thumb that I write in every single one of my stacking articles. We're in week 10. And I write it in every single one. Target the Detroit Lions defense.
There you go.
It's really, really bad. They're just not good when it comes to running. They give up the second most rushing touchdowns on the ground. David Montgomery, yes, he's in a committee of whatever you want to say, but he still gets his 14-something carries. And against this team, he's going to be fine. This is a safe floor play for me. If you want to go and shoot for the moon, then maybe Tony Pollard, but I know what I'm getting out of David Montgomery.
No, absolutely. I love it. That's my pick as well. Pollard has a good matchup. It's so weird because the Packers have allowed the third most rushing touchdowns to running backs. They just haven't allowed a lot of touchdowns to running backs. That's the thing. Like you back them up to their red zone and somebody else beats them, or they, hold you to a field goal. So that's really interesting for me. And because of that, I just have to pull Pollard. I do like that upside. If Zeke is going to be out or going to be limited, like that really changes the narrative for me here. I just don't like him to find the end zone. That's what concerns me. And the Bears offense has been revived. Like they were going blow for blow with the Dolphins, and the Dolphins have been one of the better teams in the league. They were getting kind of housed by the Cowboys, and they fought back into contention there in that game. Don't have a defense. So I absolutely love the game flow in that one, and I feel like the Bears will get in the red zone a few extra times. It's just going to be about, if Fields or Herbert's going to steal a touchdown. That's it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like you said, there's no defense there, so that game flow fits me a little bit better.
Yep.
I think everything leans towards Montgomery in that.
Sounds good. We agree there. We'll take, we're going to do one more of our flex questions, and then we'll get back to the chat one more time. Next up, this is a tougher one. We're going deeper into the stacks here. We got Deontay Johnson versus the Saints, Curtis Samuel at Philadelphia, at your Eagles, or Devin Singletary versus Minnesota, who we just brought up.
Honestly, I don't want any of them, and I did not enjoy
pass
this
an
question.
answer?
Yeah, like I did not enjoy this question whatsoever. I guess I'm going to lean on DJ. And that's only because, and I am blanking on his name, so help me if it's in yours, the Saints cornerback, Lattimore. Lattimore is still out. So I'll lean on DJ for that. I do think that there's going to be some points. I actually have the Steelers upsetting the Saints because for some reason they're like 1.5 point like underdogs to this game. So I'm betting on the Steelers at home. I'll take DJ here, but I got to be honest, I don't want any of these. I'm just choosing because I have to.
Well, the reason why you don't want them is because all of them are probably not going to have very good quarterbacks this week.
Yep.
Taylor Heineke, Kenny Pickett, and probably Case Keenum for Devin Singletary.
Yep.
Or if it somehow miraculously is the second coming of Christ and Josh Allen, then he's probably not going to be that good. He's probably not going to be that great. So definitely a pass on Singletary for me. It's between DJ and Curtis Samuel. I'm honestly going to go with Samuel because I lean a little bit more towards Taylor Heineke over Kenny Pickett. I just really don't trust the Steelers offense this year. Last year, I always felt like they were like trying to find themselves in the middle of a game. It doesn't even happen in this year. It's just like, nope, we're just done. First quarter's over. We're out of here. I feel bad for Mike Tomlin. I really do. I'm a big Mike Tomlin fan. Going to be taking his first one on the chin here with a losing record this season. So I'm going Samuel. Taylor Heineke, man, he's not afraid to ball out, and I don't need him to, play it safe for me to win at fantasy football. He wants to chuck it. He wants to take, big shots downfield and let his guys make plays. I'm here for it. You go get him, brother. Give me some Curtis Samuel. Just a very consistent floor all year. When you look at his game logs, he has 3 receiving touchdowns, albeit 2 of them came in the first couple of games. But going through his last few games here, 3 for 65, 3 for 50, 5 for 53. He did have a dud up against the Bears that was on Thursday night. That was
rough.
That was a very bad game.
Yeah.
And then the week before that against the Titans, 6 for 8, 62 receiving yards. So has a very safe floor, and he is coming off of a game where he caught a touchdown. And I like the yards per catch as well. Well into the double digits, over 15 a couple of weeks ago, over 20 last week. So just the big playability. That's really all I'm buying into, because all of these guys,
Yeah, that's how I feel. Nah.
Exactly. DJ, he'll get volume, especially with Claypool gone. I know that everyone expects, Pickens to get his healthy work share and all that, but DJ, I think, is like 5th or 6th in the league in total targets to the wide receiver position. So that's there. It's just not, he's not doing much with them. He's not getting any deep balls. He's not getting any big plays. Gets the volume, just not with any booming potential, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's not one I really want to pick from. I'm just picking one because it's part of the game.
Absolutely. All right. So next up, we got challengers back in the chat here. 6 weeks ago, trade for Kenneth Walker, give up Alec Pierce. Nice. That's sick. Trade that one to your uncle or your office pal. 2 weeks ago, sold high on Pittman and Mostert for Devontae. Love XOXO. Love that. Paired those two on my team with Mixon and dropped like 200. That's very good. That wasn't a question, but good job.
Yeah. Salute to you, man, because that's fantastic trading on your part.
Let's see. One more question. Kenyon Drake or Gus Edwards? Probably the Drake.
Yeah, I'll go with Drake. He looked pretty good last game. I'm going to stick with that. Gus Edwards was coming off an injury, and then he hurt his leg again. Like, it's not a good train. And they're on bye, so.
Yeah, I don't even know where we're going with this. So, after the bye, whoever's healthier, I don't know.
I will guarantee that Sunday, both of them get 0 points.
If he's wrong, you come complain to me.
Yeah.
All right. Should I trade Zeke and Curtis Samuel for Aaron Jones? I don't hate that at all.
No, I trade Zeke any chance I get, to be honest. Yeah. And I like Aaron Jones. I know he's dealing with like a little bit of injury right now, and the Packers kind of suck. But who else is there?
Apparently Allen Lazard, because this person wants to know.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean,
I got to go AJ still.
One. I got to go AJ. Yeah, I don't want to deal with the Cowboys cornerbacks.
Well, it's just the volume. Like Lazard, I feel like has a safe floor. Like that touchdown percentage is ridiculous. Don't know what it is off the top of my head. It's stupid good though. It's not cool. Like I don't understand like why this guy is just like the touchdown god. I guess it's because Devontae Adams isn't there. It makes sense.
Somebody has to be.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So I like that Lazard has a safe floor. I just think that Aaron Jones, if you're looking for like that big booming production, he's going to be the guy to do it. If between one of these guys, who's more likely to score 2 touchdowns? It's got to be AJ. Got to be Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I agree. If you're looking for that guy to push it a little bit, it's going to be AJ. I don't see it being Lazard.
All right, cool. We're going to move into our next segment. We're talking a buy, sell, or trade at your fantasy football trade deadline, right? So we're going through each position. We're going to name off a couple of names here. Buy, sell, or hold at the quarterback position, Joe. First up, we've got Tom Brady, Jimmy Garoppolo, or Kirk Cousins. Buy, sell, or hold.
All right. So I'm going to sell Tom Brady, and we'll go through this for a minute because I just don't like his path to the fantasy playoffs. He's got a bit of a gauntlet going on. I know Cleveland hasn't been amazing, but he has Cleveland. He has New Orleans. He has San Fran, and he has the Bengals. And then he has the bye before all of that. So you're losing a week if you trade for him right now. And then you have those 4 defenses. Then it becomes pretty. I think I could trade him on name value and get a week back since I'm going to be trading off the bye. So I'll be shipping out Tom Brady. I want to buy Kirk Cousins for the simple fact that he has Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hockenson, Dalvin Cook. Like, he's got monsters at all the positions. I'm fine with that. Give me the guy who has the most talent, and I guess I'll just hold Jimmy Garoppolo because, well, he's a handsome man, and I feel like I should keep him.
Yeah, we get along with Jimmy over here. I graduated in the same class as Jimmy, actually.
Oh, did you?
Albeit his was at early in the morning, mine was in the afternoon. We kicked out of Eastern Illinois at the same time. It's good stuff, and I got to see him. Just like it's about as close as you can get. Just knocking yards all over the field. Oh, 350 this game, 425 this game. Oh God, it's beautiful. I'm going to actually buy Jimmy Garoppolo because I've bought Jimmy Garoppolo at the deadline. I traded Jared Goff and a 2nd-round pick because I love his schedule and I want to win now. These matchups, the Chargers, Arizona, New Orleans, not so great in week 12, but beyond that, I love every single matchup. Miami in week 13, closing out the fantasy regular season against Tampa Bay at home. Week 15 on the road, but it's against Seattle. Very positive matchup. Week 16, the Commandos at home. Week 17, the Raiders. And again, week 18 at home with Arizona. Those are all very positive matchups in the quarterback position. And you had mentioned Kirk's weapons. I'm going to go in with Jimmy's. You got obviously now CMC bringing back Elijah Mitchell, who averaged, 100 yards, all-purpose yards per game as a rookie. Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, and Deebo Samuel. Like, his card is stacked. Kirk's is as well. I would say he would be the buy candidate for me, or no, I'm sorry, the hold candidate, flipping those. And Tom, I agree with you, would be the sell candidate. There's still some upside with Tom. We mentioned all of the volume already and that name brand. And if there are some teams that just have a struggling quarterback position, maybe they have Matt Stafford, maybe they have Kyler Murray this week, and you're at the deadline and that doubt is kind of creeping into those owners' minds. Those would be types of teams I would target to sell off Tom Brady. Those guys that are coming in with potential injuries this week for sure. Kirk, I really like too. Like I said, I would just hold him because he's going to have a safe floor week in and week out.
Very similar
argument. Exactly. He doesn't always boom, though. That's the only thing. Like, he doesn't have like those gigantic games. I'm not saying Garoppolo will either, but I feel like they're going to have a very similar floor with the upgrade that, the 49ers made at acquiring CMC.
Yeah, and I don't mind that because yours is cheaper to acquire probably, just again off name brand, because Jimmy wasn't the starter in the beginning of the year and all that fun stuff. So I think yours is probably the cheaper one of the two to go get right now, but I don't quote me on that, people. Like,
hey, people know their leagues better than we know them, so it's all good. All right, running back position: buy, sell, or hold. Aaron Jones, Deonta Foreman, and Jeff Wilson Jr.
This one was tough for me. This one was really tough for me. I'm going to buy Jeff Wilson. I'm going to hold Foreman, and I'm going to sell Aaron Jones. And the reason why I'm going to buy Jeff Wilson is my love for Chase Edmonds, because he's everything I wanted Chase Edmonds to do in this damn offense that he didn't do. And it's like my biggest bust of the year. The whole analogy, everything I wanted for Chase, though, he was going to be the pass catcher. He was going to be the dump off guy to Tua. He could run as well. Like, this team's going to be busy. Like, defenses are going to be busy with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. It's all there. And then Raheem Mostert, one injury from a guy who's very injury prone. And you have the stud running back of the Miami Dolphins offense. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to try to buy that right now. And then I'm looking at Foreman. And the only time Foreman gets game scripted out is when Joe Mixon throws up 5 touchdowns. So they're going to be getting buried for Deonta Foreman to not be a part of this game script. So I'm going to hold him. I know what I have there. They don't really like Chuba. I cannot think of the other guy. I think it's like Blackshear. Doesn't really worry me in the running back room. And I love Aaron Jones. Raheem, there you go. Yeah. And then Aaron Jones, still a great option. But again, name brand. I could probably get a little bit more for him than I can the other two right now. So that's why I'm selling him.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I want to sell Aaron Jones, and that's just because the Packers offense this year is down. Especially like in a redraft format, this is an easy sell candidate. You're going to get a good return too. You can probably get a wide receiver that you can start each week and maybe a fringe start at running back. I feel like you can get a solid return for Aaron Jones. I got to go off of what I did this week, and that was I bought Deonta Foreman. I traded a 4th round pick and Rashad Bateman. Thursday night brought home some solid production. Their team was, not tanking, but they're at the bottom of the standings. It's dynasty. I'm at the top. So I want to make a run and load up. Right. He was someone that I went out and bought. I'm still trying to sell Jeff Wilson, but I will hold him. I've been putting out feelers because a lot of people like him. But the price hasn't been right yet. I haven't gotten the offer that I want. Everyone keeps offering me just like 3rd, 4th round picks, because I traded all those away for everything for Mahomes. But I want a better price than that, because I still feel like he's at least worth a second in like dynasty formats, and I feel like you should get a good starter for him, because look at what he did against the Bears his first week there. He's only going to learn. He's only going to learn more, and that was not a game that was just like easy for Miami. You know what I mean? Like the Bears hung with them the entire time, kept giving Jeff Wilson that use. Last preview show last week, we're like, oh yeah, do we think Jeff Wilson could just get like a random touchdown?
Yeah,
we were like, oh, it could, maybe, I don't know. It's the Bears defense, just go out there and we'll experiment. Maybe don't use them a ton. No, they used them a lot. Like, he looked very very good with them. So I wanted to put this on the screen because, man, Fabian Moreau, do better, my man, do better. Like, it's Foster Moreau, and I don't like. I don't know what that last word is. Maria. I don't know.
Listen, I'll trade for Fabian Maria. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
4th round pick. What do I care? Ship it.
I'm going K. Dotton here over
Same.
Foster Moreau.
Same.
Moreau.
I
Nice
want
little.
nothing to do with that Raiders offense right now, other than Adams.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's really tough, man. They are just falling apart at the seams. My goodness.
My Scott Fishbowl team, I went Raider heavy. I went Waller. I went Adams. I went Carr. I was like, oh, they're gonna put up points. Didn't happen. I'm like 2-7. I just set the lineup and forget it now.
That's an August draft if I've ever heard it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I had no, my Scott Fishbowl went down. Like last year was so great. I was just like, man, I just keep winning. This is amazing. I don't know. I keep scoring all these points, and then this year's like down.
Yep. I feel that.
Keenan Allen, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, just lots of injuries. Had Damian Pierce. That's been fun to root for.
There you go.
All the kickers I have to pick up to stay relevant.
Same.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. All right, now to our wide receiver position. We've got Chris Olave, Josh Palmer, Devonta Smith. Hold, buy, or sell. This is probably my toughest.
So for me, I'm buying Olave. I'm holding Devonta Smith, and I'm selling Josh Palmer. And I like Josh Palmer. He's a good guy. Like, obviously, the receivers are out. He's got a really good opportunity right now. But how big is that window? When does Keenan come back? When does Mike come back? You know, there's still Gerald Everett. There's still Austin Eckler. And so I think he's my sell. I want to catch somebody on the hype right now. You know that Josh Palmer is one of those players that people swing on that they either love or hate. Find the guy that loves him, sell him off to me. Sell him not to me, but sell him off in that case. And then Devonta Smith, it's not just the Eagles' love. It's a really talented team. We hit two people that if it's not Dallas Goedert at the tight end, it's A.J. Brown or it's Devonta Smith. That's it in the passing game. We don't use the Quez Watkins. We don't use anybody beneath that. We're not into that. We don't play that game. So I'll hold him, hoping for brighter days down the road because we have a very easy schedule. But Chris Olave, I've had a man crush on him ever since I saw his route tree and the ability that he has at running that route tree. I don't even care who the quarterback is. It doesn't bother me. I'll go to the Olave Garden every day of the week.
I love it. I like that. I would like to buy Olave. I would like him to be my buy candidate, but he's very expensive. That's
expensive. You got to pay up.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have some depth, if you were able to really nail a specific position, most likely maybe like a running back swap, like if that owner has Olave and you want to go out and get him, I wouldn't hate buying him. But for the sake of this conversation, I will say that I want to buy Devonta Smith because he won't cost a lot. I want to hold Chris Olave, and I want to wait, was that buy? Yeah, I want to buy Devonta Smith. I want to sell Josh Palmer, and I want to hold Chris Olave. There it was.
There we go.
Like I said, Olave, very good situation, very safe floor week in and week out. I'm not really so much worried about Keenan Allen as much as I am more worried about Mike Williams and Austin Eckler. It just seems Keenan is just destined to screw me this season. So I feel like he's probably not going to come back, but we'll see. Sell Josh Palmer. I agree with you in that narrative. Get him while the value is there, and it's probably going to tank. Devonta Smith is probably closer to a hold or a buy, and same thing for Chris Olave. They're kind of toss up between the two. All right, next set we have here at the tight end position, we've got K. Dotton, Evan Ingram, and Kyle Pitts. Buy, sell, or hold?
Kyle Pitts. Oof. I mean, you're going to have to hold Kyle Pitts because you're never going to get what you want from a generational talent like Kyle Pitts. So he's the hold automatically. And I have gone back and forth this entire show because I knew this was coming. And in my head, I'm still kind of like just tinkering with it. And I think it just comes down to me wanting the guy attached to Tom Brady for at least the rest of this year. Give me K. Dotton. I love Evan Ingram, but we know he drops the ball a lot. The Jaguars could be the Jaguars again and just lose it all over the place. Like not be good, not know how to throw, how to run, how to do anything. They do have Zay Jones, Marvin Jones, Christian Kirk there. Like there's a lot of weapons there as well. And they're leaning on ETN. And like I said earlier, Tom Brady likes the middle of the field. K. Dotton is in the middle of the field. It's not pretty. This question's not pretty at all. But I'm going to sell Evan Ingram. I'm going to try to catch him right now while he plays the Chiefs, who are one of the worst teams against tight ends. Try to sell that narrative off to somebody. I'm going to keep K. Dotton. I'm going to buy K. Dotton, and then you got to keep Kyle Pitts. You can't buy or sell him. You can't get the right price point for Kyle Pitts.
So Evan Ingram had like one of the juiciest matchups last week against the Raiders because they give
Yeah.
up terrible production to the tight end position. And then he
Just
didn't
keep
do
selling the
anything.
narrative. Sell
Yeah,
the narrative, man. Sell the
exactly.
narrative.
Yeah, this one's really tough. Honestly, I would sell all of these guys if like given the right price. Like I'll sell Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts. I don't care. He's bad. Give me something better.
I'm a big fan of selling all tight ends as much as physically possible because tight end is so bad that I could just replace it and be 2 points down maybe and have a pick. So I'll do it every time.
Did you see that TikTok of the guy that if you try to pay your family off of fantasy football?
No.
His whole family's yelling at him because of how bad he's doing. He's like 0-5, and they're worried that he's going to get kicked out of the league and they're going to be homeless. I'm getting picked on at school because you keep starting Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a generational talent, son.
I have to find that TikTok.
Dude, it's ridiculously funny. It's ridiculoly funny. You got to trade Josh Allen. Josh Allen's a unicorn. It's too much. Yeah, I would sell all these guys. I'm not overly attached to any of them. I like the idea of buying Cade Otton on the low. I'm okay with that. And Evan Ingram, yeah, they're hold or sell candidates for me. I don't know what you're going to get for them. Like, I don't know what the market is for Kyle Pitts, just because he's a bad tight end this season. He's just not very good this year. So what's the market for a very bad tight end in fantasy? Not great, Bob. That's what it is. Like, it's nothing good.
Listen, at this rate, you shouldn't be in the market trying to trade for a tight end unless it's Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just don't do it. Just stick with what you got because he's right there next to everybody else.
And what are you going to give up for him? Here's my old bench and a starter.
Yeah. Here's everybody for a guy who's probably going to retire. Like,
oh gosh, yeah. In Dynasty, it would be so brutal. It would be so brutal.
Yeah.
All right, let's answer a couple more questions here before we get to our last segment. We got William Watkins jumping in the chat. Appreciate you, Bill. Do you hold Michael Pittman in hopes Ryan isn't? No. I want to get rid of Michael Pittman as fast as I can, and it won't be Matt Ryan. It'll probably be Nick Foles.
Yeah, BDN. love BDN, man. Gotta love him forever.
I love BDN vibes. When it's going, it's great, and when it's not going, it's not very fun. Okay.
It's hit or miss, man. But when it hit, it was beautiful for me.
Oh, well, for you, you got a Super Bowl out of the deal. Like, I'm a Bears fan. Like, we got a couple of random wins. We got
you beat Tom Brady.
Yeah, we beat Tom Brady, and we had like a couple of big games that we won. We had some big dub club celebrations. That's about it. Like, that was the biggest party we had was in the locker room with Nick Foles. It was definitely wasn't for greasing the pole status. We'll say, right?
Yeah, definitely not greasing the pole status for you guys, but it happened for me, so we're okay.
Cheers to that. I just traded Lazard and JT for Justin Jefferson. What do I think? I think that's an awesome trade. I think you just smoked the house. That's great.
Yeah. I'm fine with that redraft dynasty. I don't really care. Give me Jay Jetta every time.
Whoever accepted that trade was stoned. That's absurd. that's I mean, in any format, that's absurd. I don't care if it's standard, dynasty, it's a punter league. I don't care. Like, it's a steal. All right, we're closing out the show here. We've got some over/under picks to make for fantasy football projections. These are with 6-point passing touchdowns and PPR formats. First up here, we've got Patrick Mahomes versus Jacksonville, over under 21.5 points. We mentioned this one earlier, probably a DFS favored type of game. What do we think here?
All right. I mean, like I said earlier, highest over under on the slate. 3 touchdowns gets me to about 18 points. So I'm just going to go over. I think that's the type of game he's going to have.
Exactly. You took all my points right out of my mouth. The scoring, the matchup. We already touched on the touchdown efficiency earlier, how bad receivers are getting burned. I didn't look up the tight end, how many touchdowns he gave up to the tight end, because Travis Kelce isn't a tight end. He's a unicorn. He's also a wide receiver. So that's what that is.
He's a unicorn.
Exactly. He's a unicorn, son. Dude, you'll start busting up. He also does a great one with like Tom and Giselle having a nice little banter. It's great. It's fantastic.
I got to watch it.
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. Next up, we got Najee Harris, a friendlier number, but it's Najee Harris, 11.5 points.
He is an under until further notice for me, man. Like, right now, we're even having rumors of Jalen Warren or whatever coming in, and I'm attached to Kenny Pickett. And this whole I want nothing to do with the Steelers' offense if I can avoid it. So under until further notice, this was the year to fade Najee Harris, and if you didn't, you got stuck holding the bag, and I'm sorry.
Yep, he was like my running back 3 or 4, given the format. So yeah, he was tough. I didn't get him in a lot of places, but I have
That
bought
worked.
low on him. I did buy low on him, not at the deadline this week, but like a couple of weeks ago, I gave up some picks for him because I believe the bounce back is there in the right formats.
Oh
Like
yeah.
where I'm trending down, I wanted to acquire him for hopefully a good start for next year. So we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
no, I don't mind it too much in Dynasty, depending on the price. But for this year, I just want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So in this game, hey, Najee, in spirit, I like the over, but where my money, it's going to the under. Sorry, bud.
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins going against the Rams, 14.5. He's been on a roll since coming back from the suspension. A lot of motivation there, it seems.
It seems like I'm about to hedge this bet because if Kyler plays, it's over. If Kyler doesn't play, it's under. And as somebody who's been trying to download Call of Duty for the past week, this is the last time I'm going to use DeAndre Hopkins because apparently next week new maps come out and I don't trust
Damn.
the Kyler story. Yeah, I'm not. Somebody told me that today, and I'll use DeAndre Hopkins this week and I'll go over. But if you ask me this again next week, I'll just say under because Call of Duty.
Man, there's so many factors into fantasy football now. We have to look at weather. Yeah. We have to look at projections. We have to look at game flow. And we have to look at blessed Call of Duty schedules. Like this is getting a bit on hand here.
You know what I don't get? They put that clause in his thing and then they took it away. But they put it in for the 4 hours of studying.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like that's like, come on. Like
hold
your ground. Like are you an NFL team or not? Like
fully agree. Fully agree. 4 hours of studying is what they wanted him to do. I've been trying to upload this damn game since 3 p.m. It's 9:30. He could have did the 4 hours as it uploaded each week, and he'd be fine.
Man, NFL internet ain't the same internet you and I rolling with.
That's true.
We're content people, but man, those dudes got it like in every device. Like it's in their couch, man. Like come on.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. That's true.
It's everywhere they go.
I'm just mad at the game right now. Don't ask me. But are you going over or under?
That's fair. I hope it gets to it there for you so you can answer the call. I'm going with the under. Don't love the matchup with Ramsey. I feel like he'll be a little bit more aggressive this week, although they are allowing the 12th most fantasy points to the wide receiver position. I'm on a similar page with you. Obviously, if Kyler doesn't play, you want to probably attack the under here. Who's their backup? Is it Trace McSorley?
Yes.
Damn, I don't know, man.
Yes.
Trace
Unfortunately,
is that dude.
yes. Yeah,
that's dog.
Listen,
I'm just talking myself into the over.
No, I don't know if I could do that, man. Like I've watched too much of him in my lifetime. I'm good. Like you could do it. I can't give myself that heart. My watch is gonna go off for heart rate. I can't do that. No.
Well, my Apple Watch is dead right now, so I should be fine. I'm going with the over. Give me Trace or give me Kyler, whoever it is. I'm gonna go with it. Big dog's got to eat, and Trace is that dude. I'm sorry. Dallas Goedert, your boy, closing it down here. 12.5. Not the friendliest matchup, but it's the Commandos. I mean, anything.
Yeah. Listen, I went against Miles Sanders earlier. My Eagles heart says I can't do it twice. I'm going over for Dallas Goedert. I'm not allowed to go against them twice. This is what the Eagles do. We hit 3 people, like I said earlier. Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and we're not really hitting Devonta Smith right now. So I'm going to go over with Dallas Goedert.
All right. I'm going to go to the under just because I say he's going to stay out of the end zone. If the Commandos have done something well, it's not allow touchdowns to tight ends. Just one on the season. So
no, listen, yours is a lot more analysis. Mine's is more fly Eagles fly. So I get it. You know,
we're pretty pro Eagles around here. I mean, I'm a Bears fan. Double doink is a real thing for me. Like I get like shock from watching it. Just like I get palpitations in my pulpit, Yeah. But Sean, my boss is an Eagles fan. I don't really have anything against underdog teams. I always feel like Eagles are underdogs. That's just kind of like the built into their culture. So I really don't have that much hate for them. But man, you guys didn't deserve that one. I'm sorry. That was come on, we gave that to you.
I love that day though because I had way too many drinks after that. I was in the bar. It was the best day ever. Like,
I bet. I was freaking out. I had plenty of drinks after that. They were sad drinks. Okay.
Yeah. Different style of drinks there.
My old friend. Yeah. All right, got a couple more. I think just one more question here. We got Val's the GOAT dropping a question. Appreciate you, Val's. My team is now Mahomes, CMC, ETN, D-Hop, Jefferson, Kelsey, Amari, Damian Pierce, 8-1. All right.
Yeah, why? Like everybody else in the league should just like set their lineup and then go elsewhere.
Val's is that GOAT in 10 team leagues for sure. Because I don't know how else this happened, brother. Come on, I don't know.
Wow,
I'm gonna
that's a monster team. Everybody else in the league just sets the lineup and then they go like on a date for Sunday because like they're not watching the game. They're not going to win.
something.
Like look at
Yeah.
that. Look at that lineup. Like
That's ridiculous. That's
yeah,
ridiculous.
that's nuts. That's crazy. I'm not playing in the league with Val's together. That's all.
Pass on Vals.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing you said. What did we think of that trade? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, very good. Well, Joe, appreciate you coming on, sir. Again, remind everybody where they can find you and some good stuff that you're working on that people can look out for.
Yeah, like I said, you find me on pretty much every social media at JPEP20. I am that fake verified one now. I paid the $8. Everybody suck it. But you can find me at JPEP20 at every social media. You can find me with Haymakers for Hope for this boxing thing where we're trying to KO cancer. And then just keep your eyes out for that thing that I'm not allowed to talk about yet, but it's coming out soon. That's
Look
all
out
I
for
can
it.
say.
Look out for it. For someone like myself who just like I don't shit on Elon Musk, like I get it. Like it's tough running billion-dollar conglomerates.
Listen,
it's probably not an easy job, but I pay my bucks too. I could get my check mark. You could toss me mine.
Yeah, I blow $8 all the time on the dumbest things. Like if I turn this camera around to all the stuff I just bought for Christmas that I don't need, yeah, no. Like I'd take my $8, give me the stupid little check. My whole Twitter now is Eagles green though. Like you could change the color in that. So I'm all for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all Eagles green now because the Phillies, unfortunately, they're done. So I had to move on.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, sorry about that too. But I'm also a Cubs fan, so eat crow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No verification at this time. Sorry, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on mine. I don't know what I got to do. I don't know what I got. I got to need another $8. What's going on here? I'm still waiting.
I tried for months, so as soon as I could pay for it, I was like, screw it, I'm paying for it. I ain't doing this no more.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I've been trying to probably 3 times. I have a journal portfolio and stuff like that.
Same
as a sports journalist. Like, come on, what the hell?
I have the portfolio and I want a TV show. And I still can't get verified.
That's not right. If you're on the TVs, then that's just you play by different rules.
I literally just want to write in there like, hey, my guy, I know you didn't watch it, but here, and just put a little link to it.
I didn't ask you. What were you on? Were you on Survivor, Big Brother, or?
I wish it was one of those shows. It was a show that got canceled after one season. That's probably why I didn't get verified through it. It was called TKO. Kevin Hart was the host. Imagine Ninja Warrior meets Wipeout as a show.
Okay.
And I won that.
You won it?
Yeah.
You didn't just show up and have a good time. You went over there and you won it.
No. I actually broke my thumb and dislocated my ankle during it. So it was not a good time, but I won it.
Okay. What was the prize, if you don't mind sharing?
$50,000.
Bang, chicken and shrimp.
Was not mad. At all. And then they bring the Eagles mascot out to it because very long story short, as a kid, I named the Eagles mascot. I won that contest as a kid, and you think I get verified through that. But the dude hugs me. The mascot hugs me afterwards, and he's like, good job, man. And I almost, it's on camera, I almost punch him because I wasn't expecting the mascot to talk, and it freaked me the hell out, man. It freaked me out. Not even kidding.
And there goes season 2. Nice job, Joe.
It was my fault.
I love it. That's fantastic. I've been trying to get on Survivor for a minute. It's not happening. It's okay. I'm still waiting. Waiting for that right moment. It's toughy. We got one more question in here. We're sticking around for it. We got, should I trade Auden for Muth and Thielen? I don't like that. My other wide receivers are
Olave.
Should I trade Olave for Muth and Thielen? I don't like that. My other wide receivers are D-Hop, Amon-Ra, Pittman, and London. So Pittman and London are pretty much untrustable. You have a great core with Olave, D-Hop, and Amon-Ra, and your tight ends you only have Taysom Hill, bud. Waller, that dude gone. He did.
Yeah, and tight end is a crapshoot. We've talked about this. If it's not Kelsey, you're just kind of playing the waiver wire. So don't go out and trade for something, especially not somebody like Chris Olave.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a great asset to own right now. Would not put it up for Freiermuth. No way. No, that's not even close. And then Thielen.
And Adam Thielen's a nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolute same category. Nope, no, thank you. Pass. Come again next year. All right. Very good. Again, Joe, appreciate you coming on. You guys go follow him on Twitter at JPEP20. You can find me on Twitter at SGPNJB. Take care, be well, be good. And if you can't be good at it. We'll see you guys.